What is going on, guys? Paul Ryan back at it again. I hope everybody's having a good night. It has been an active 24 hours for the Dallas Cowboys. As yesterday, Osa Ziggy and the Dallas Cowboys agreed to a 4-year, $80 million deal. And I got to say, man, initially I talked about how I felt about Osa, and I wasn't thrilled about him getting the franchise tag, and I didn't think that I was on board. Rather, I was not on board. I'll be honest, I was not on board with signing him to a 4-year deal just because I don't know what his ceiling is, if he has a ceiling, if he has another step to take. That being said, after the deal, I saw a lot of people who are smarter than me, smarter Cowboys fans, who know the game better than I do, who know Matt Eberflus's system better than I do, and they're all behind it. And so as I started seeing more people talk about it, started to show the numbers. Even after signing this 4-year deal, Osa Ziggy is only the 14th highest paid defensive tackle in all of NFL. And if you think about where he ranks in the NFL, that's pretty accurate. So, that makes the deal a little bit more digestible. And then I saw a stat where he was number one in quarterback pressures, not just for defensive tackles, but in the league. Hey, that's something that we can get on board with. And then I mentioned in the video talking about Osa where in the last 4 years he's only missed one game. I mean, you talk about somebody who stays healthy, that's you got that going for him as well. And he's only 26 years old. So factoring all those things in, I still it's more of a wait and see type of move for me. But at least the Cowboys were active early, right? We saw how they assembled this coaching staff early. We see how they are approaching contracts early this offseason with getting Osa done. Now they're talking about doing J. Lou, of course, talking about doing Micah. But then, in addition to the Osa contract, they restructure CD Lamb's contract, freeing up $20 million, if not 24 million. I believe it's only 20 million, but doing that. And then today, freeing up over 30 million. I believe it's 34 million to be exact, and free money for Dak Prescott. So freeing up over 50 million in cap space in less than 24 hours. Or excuse me, rather in 24 hours. But the biggest move, the biggest surprise move, which I mentioned it on Twitter, was they assigned a they put a second round tender on Cavante Turpin. And it had me thinking, as much as I love Turpin, would I rather have Cavante Turpin or a second round pick in this draft class? And with the way that this team is currently built, with the holes that we have, I think a second round pick would be better suited for this Cowboys team. I'd love to know what you guys think. I posted it on Twitter asking Cowboys Nation would they rather have Cavante Turpin and second round pick, and the large majority of people said second round pick, and I tend to agree, man. I again, as much as I love Turpin, I think, like I said, a second round pick would just do a lot more for this team because of the holes that we have. I mean, if we added a second round pick, we could really fill all of our, if you want to call them needs, or build our depth at defensive tackle, fill the void at running back, and get a reliable wide receiver two with our first three picks, and then the rest of the draft just kind of take shots, draft guys with high upside. We have 3 5th round picks. Dallas has done a great job of hitting on their fifth round picks. I know that a move is going to be made before the draft, but I'm still kind of curious as to what the Cowboys are going to do with Trayvon Diggs. I don't know what his trade market value is, but we saw that DK Metcalf just requested a trade. Could Trayvon Diggs in a be maybe a bargaining a conversation starter for the Seattle Seahawks for DK Metcalf? I know that Seattle has a pretty strong defense. I don't think that their secondary has any needs, especially at cornerback, but I'd like to think that there's other teams out there that would be interested in Trayvon Diggs at the right price. I'm not saying trade Trayvon Diggs straight up for DK Metcalf, but maybe Trayvon Diggs and a 5th round pick for DK Metcalf, or Trayvon Diggs and a 3rd round pick for DK Metcalf, something like that. I don't know how the money lines up, but again, this is just another hypothetical scenario where maybe we can actually get something out of for Trayvon Diggs rather than just cut him loose. But back to my original question, in regards to Cavante Turpin, I like the guy, but you guys let me know in the comments. Would you rather have Cavante Turpin or a 2nd round pick? Make sure to leave that in the comments. And as always, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'm Paul Ryan, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.